Well, hello there, everyone. How are y'all doing today on this hump day? That's what they call it. Hump day. All right, it's a hump day. I always think of Nina on that. So it's so good to see everyone. Thank you for tuning in and being a part of all this. It makes it better when there's more participating. You know what I'm saying? Indeed. The more the merrier. What can I say? You can put in your own, thing in there because we all got our thing. Everybody has a thing. You know, some things are different than other things, but we all got a thing. Hey, Jackie, what's up? Good to see you. Yes, as I speak favor over us all, love to say that. I mean, can you imagine if you get on a plane and the pilot says, well, just before we take off, just want to speak favor over everyone. That would make me feel good. So, and as we like to finish it up with, nothing missing, nothing broken. So, what's up, Jackie? Hey, Chloe, what's up? El Gapo, good to see you. Pingree and Nina, good to see you, dear. Rick, what's up, brother? Emperor Rex, hello. Redneck, how are you? Thank you. Stephen, what's up? Deborah, much love to you, darling. Stephanie, I saw your comment. Wow, that's pretty cool. I mean, there's obviously a meaning to that somewhere, but that is really cool. Go, all the way from Croatia. What's up? Good to see you. And Crystal Clear, good to see you as well. And Joyce Marie and Joe Mac. I think I got everybody. Goddess Sabina, hello, darling. Good to see you as well. Shadow Files, good day to you, sir. And DC, what's up? Shirley, hello, Melissa. So, wow, what a show yesterday. That was really a good show. It really was. And, you know, it seems like it's just not me. Many encouraging emails. Thank you. That I ain't the only one. And again, it's like once you see it, you there's no going back. I mean, it's like being a virgin. I mean, once you were, once you're not, you're gonna go back to what you were. Didn't Billy Joel sing a song like that? Bottle of red, bottle of white. Yeah, I think he did. Anyway, so what else is happening? Hot out there. Choice Times, good to see you. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that. Loretta, what's up, darling? Robert Scott, good to see you, my good friend. So sending out some positive vibes to Gilbert. You know, yeah, things happen, folks. It's just part of the process. And thought today we play a little, Sherlock Holmes because there's just some stuff that's happening. It's impossible to ignore it. And I like to think that the vast majority of us, I mean, if you're listening to me, thank you. And thank you for hitting the like button. Feed the algorithm, right? I'm sure the algorithm may not like to hear what everything I'll be talking about, but hey, you know, suck it up, cupcake. That's all I got to tell the old algorithm. Uh, because it is true, but it is becoming impossible to ignore all the. Well, I could get a lot of words in here. Crap, Kimchi. I mean, it's just, it's just, it sucks. That's all I got to say. I mean, and so as Sherlock Holmes would do, you begin to look at the, hey, Lynn, good to see you. Linda Espinosa and John Price, how are you doing, brother? Um, so someone, that's not me, I don't know who, but when you look at this, we try to look at this thing from, I like to think of, a non-religious, non-political kind of through an occult lens. Occultist means, bringing that which is hidden out, hidden knowledge. And if we look at things from that point of view, there's no doubt. There's some high fucking magic going on here. And magic is not the sleight of hands. Dare I say that it is the sleight of realities. Because someone, it is creating our realities. Or would it be more accurately to say realities? There's just some strange stuff going on. And I look at this from everything we had today. We're at a place where information just bombards us, man. And you're processing. It's like when you realize that we ain't the only ones on this freaking planet. That apparently there are other species that can mimic us, but they ain't us. But it seems like they are all about controlling us. That sucks because someone's controlling this nonsense. As we were discussing yesterday, it's the total lack of common sense. And it's just not me, and it's not just you as well. There's so many. And thank you for the comments again. I mean, you know, all right, so we're not alone in this. So, okay. I think I saw Bonnie says it one time. So now what do you do with that, right? It's like, okay, so you see now. So what do you do with that now? I mean, what do you do? There would be a small portion of, I guess, any social platform that would probably not disagree. But I dare say the vast majority would. And if it is true that well, that's what I call it, it's it. I mean, it seems to be everything. It seems like it's all about controlling us, no matter what you look at it. They integrate with us. They look like us. They rise to power. Sometimes you look at this and you shake your head and say that doesn't make sense. There's no way that that person with that background should ever be where they are, but yet it is. That's magic. There's someone manipulating the fabric of reality. And they hit us so hard that the average person doesn't remember. Most people now, and I'm speaking primarily of the younger generations, their attention span is less than 3 seconds. I don't know how they function in writing essays, schools. I mean, I don't get that. Oh, that's right, because now you don't have to. Um, Reading some papers. I mean, if you look at what these major search engines, which are gods, the search engines are fucking gods. They know more than you. They tutor you. They have you under their control. Now, I'm not speaking to everyone here. I'm speaking figuratively, primarily for those who can't remember. So they go to God to get their answers. Immediate gratification is given, and that is given in the form of knowledge. And so I can quote a Google search or any search engine you want, and now I'm a demigod because I got my information from God. It told me my answer. It answered my prayer. And I like that God a whole lot better than this unseen God, right? That's how it works. Because that God gives me instant gratification. That one doesn't. Just a matter how you look at it. It's and it's true. And so what happens when these gods, and I would dare say there's probably a number of them now. I mean, different search engines, right? I mean, I guess are they pulling from the same reservoir? I don't know. But nevertheless, what's happening here is that it can change reality. And if it can change reality, then you step it up. So who is this? Is this these other species that are among us? I mean, what is the purpose of this? Are they, I mean, if you step back, it makes us look like children as a species. Maybe we are in the big picture. Maybe we're still just kids and we don't really know what we're doing. We think we do. So, since more and more of us seem to be seeing them, and Guy, I appreciate the email as well. It's like it doesn't seem to be anything new. By the way, we were talking about Marsha Price, and I said that I have a number of her works. I mean, she really is very talented. Stare within the, but her works, and I have them all over my office. I like this one particularly. You see it? Tree. There we go. Gotta have that one. It's like, okay, sure. And then this is her tree of life. Isn't that cool? So anyway, getting back to this whole thing, energy's changing. So who did it? Who and why? Why are they changing reality on us? And it's becoming like this whiplash effect. Um, so we were sitting around last night at dinner talking, and we were discussing how events of recent nature are impacting us. It's interesting. You have patches of history where it's basically kind of this day in, day out kind of existence, right? I always look at the 70s as kind of that. We came out of the 60s, which was the social revolution. Um, Technology was coming into the picture. And we had this period of time, it was just, if it wasn't for the music, it would have been a pretty boring culture, but we had some fucking great music and we had some really great times. And then, you kind of moved into the 80s and it was still kind of, you know, things were pretty much normal, stable, uneventful. There were events happening, but you get what I meant. Um, but today, I mean, the way we're being whiplashed back and forth, and we're seeing them, as I was saying earlier, they're rewriting history. And you and I lived it. And we know it's not that way, but isn't it odd how we become so, you know, codified that, we don't want to talk about things like this, or that's, not the message. And unfortunately, we have this magic of, you got the technology companies. They serve a certain God, and they serve it well. And this God of technology is the modern equivalency of the Old Testament God, the Old New Testament God. This new God is, in fact, all knowing, all seeing, maybe soulless, you know, but no matter how you slice it and dice it, it knows everything about us. And that, in essence, makes it a God. And I often wonder, are we seeing a changing of the guard here? Because things are not adding up. And as we get into this crazy season, and we're already in it, we're seeing this theater play out. And it's weird. And if we were looking at this as a case um, of Sherlock Holmes and trying to pick out the evidence and maybe finding out what's going on, because there is something unfolding. I don't know what kind of feeds you get on YouTube, um, but there are, and it's probably because it listens to the algorithm of this show, but there is a lot of stuff where I could sum it up. It's not fear porn, you know. Um, I wouldn't say it's clickbait. I think it's really what people are sensing and many different creative outlets and how to say that. Wayne, we've been underwater for the past 2 years. We're coming out of the age of Pisces, and okay, sure, yeah, Bonnie, yeah, yeah. Dr. Strangelove, isn't that the truth? Yeah. Hey, Deborah, Planet, good to see you as well. Um, but no doubt there is things happening that I'm wondering if we were to examine, I think we have to ask why. Now, we were discussing the recent events with Trump and how if you're just average cognitive faculties, knowing common sense, knowing what is nonsense, and you look at things and you say, now, this is our reality. You can't help but not come back and say, well, then there's obviously someone is manipulating reality. I mean, if the story had gone the way it was supposed to go, our world would have been changed on a different course and path, but we're here, and here is getting more weird. Now, I wonder if there is co-occupation on this planet of another species or species of higher intelligence. Are they manipulating this? I mean, why? And so I, as we were talking at dinner, we were discussing how this whole thing with Trump has, think about it. Since that moment, the world hasn't been the same. I mean, there is stuff happening that it's everything is being upended. And the craziness of it is not it's stopping. It just continues and it seems to be accelerating. Now, we were talking about how that moment in July 16th, or was it the 13th? Um, anyway, that how this reality was shifted. And then when you stop and think about how that event happened, folks, it doesn't make sense. And they talk about us who practice magic, who study demonology and angelology. We talk about the spiritual, the metaphysical. They look at us as though we're some kind of, kooks. But yet this is about the only group that I know that where you can come out and say, well, if we look at the evidence about what's going on, this doesn't make sense. And if it doesn't make sense, then it means that someone then is manipulating. It's not a natural function or flow of nature. Natural events happen naturally. And so allow me, yes, I have, Bonnie. Yes. So allow me, I just did this just thinking, right? And it was from our conversation we had at our dinner table. And so we were discussing about how the events with Trump, since the attempted assassination, how everything seems to be going awry. Weather, just everything. And it got me to thinking that have we jumped into another realm, a part of space that the very fabric of this region is that it's chaotic, high energy. So, Trump, however you feel about it, put that out. We're not talking politics here. We're talking this through the lens of looking for a deeper understanding or knowledge on this. So, the shooter, because these events shape the world. They shape reality. So we have a 20-something, 20 years old. They tell us that he's a lone gunman, which is highly unlikely because apparently, if this guy was a lone gunman, come talk to me. I got some land. I'd love to sell you on the moon. Yeah, but only bring gold or silver. I just want to let you know that. So remember how the story unfolded? We were told first there was a van filled with explosives, but the van had Alaska license plates on it. So how did a 20-year-old dude who was a food server at a nursing home, that's the lowest of the low. I mean, it really doesn't require much initiative or intelligence. So how did he get the resources to get a van from Alaska? Okay. They never said what kind of explosives were in it, right? Then they tell us that they found his car. Well, I thought you told me that he had a van. Well, now he has, I think it was a red Kia. And of all things, they found it parked in the parking lot across from this building. All right. Then they tell us that they found his bicycle that he rode, apparently to this event. So this dude, and they don't pay crap at, if you're an assistant food nutrition server, that's what it is. So you're just handing out the food. Where do you get this money? I mean, and either he's doing a lot of hitchhiking, a lot of walking, but he's doing a lot of stuff. And then we're told that he's doing what by all the experts are saying is a person who would have been trained in intel gathering, surveillance, casing. Techniques that apparently not even our government agencies that are responsible for the security were doing. Drone activity, casing the place, walking it off. I mean, all this that apparently they seem to have known. And then the other oddity is that we now know that he was spotted an hour and a half before this event, walking out in the open, which got the attention of apparently the snipers. They took pictures of him. Local law enforcement, they took pictures of him. We got recordings now of them actually pointing him out. Yet he walked as though he knew that no law enforcement would approach him, and none did. We're finding out now that apparently the Secret Service counter sniper group was in the window that would have been directly facing said shooter. Now, none of this makes sense. They still haven't been able to break into his encrypted phone. Why would he need encrypted messages? Why was his phone, from what they've been able to find on his phone, he was pinged in Washington, D.C.? I mean, these events are what is altering reality. Because there's a reality going on here, folks. There's an agenda. Someone is orchestrating this on a grand scale, a maestro, so lone gunman, just a random act, you know, had to burr up his ass for some reason. No, gets weird. So then you look at security. Now, this is being asked in DC. Was this an inside job? It's looking suspiciously like there were too many things happening, and the odds are like 100 trillion to 1, that all of these events, all these external circumstances would be dancing and bowing to one another in the exact synchronicity that they'd happened. It's impossible. Someone had to be orchestrating this. And folks, this is a big time deal. I mean, if you look at what's happening here in the United States, the world needs to be concerned. We just witnessed a coup d'etat against a sitting president. And yet no one is talking about it. Oh, they're talking about it, but you don't want to talk about it. So if this was an inside job, the question is, well, no, we now know because we had the head of the FBI saying that there will be another attempt. Now we've got emails that validate it. So this is getting stranger. So if they say that we can't figure out the profile of this dude 18 days to 19 days after the said event, in this modern day and age, let me tell you what, they can do a background on all of us and within 20 minutes to have, our full freaking story, right? And so we know that they have said that there's going to be another attempt. Is this a script being played out? Is this part of the spell that in order for the spell to actually take effect, we have to speak it as well? And then if you look at the events that took place, strangeness everywhere. Friday night before the event, Biden says that Trump is going to be in the crosshairs. We need to put him in the crosshairs. Well, then Sunday, this fundraiser and this rally. Now, it's real interesting because these events were known, so there shouldn't have been an issue with personnel, but there was. Apparently, there was not enough security personnel, government, Secret Service, to cover both events. Now, that's weird. I mean, if you have two events taking place, and one is going to be extremely large, and the other one is and both political. And then we're finding out now there were last-minute changes made, first-time assignments. The other thing is that there was a complete lack of common sense, ignoring standard operating protocol and no accountability. A man almost lost his life. Well, in fact, a man did lose his life. It was the wrong man. They wanted to get the golden hair boy. That was the whole thing. And they had no concern about human life. I mean, this event, this shooter was shooting, if you're believing the story, and it just gets so weird, it's hard to believe, shooting into the backdrop of the target. Those backdrops were human people. Humans, yeah. So just follow me on. So now the question is, who knew? I could go into the whole modern religion, that today's religions are all birthed from Rome. Okay. The Abrahamic beliefs. All right, so was there a stand down order given? It appears there was. By testimony, it was said that the snipers had him in their sights. They had him in the crucial 120 seconds before the event. Again, was this only of a 20-year-old's actions? The question has been asked, why didn't the sniper teams react to a visible threat target 90 minutes before the event? They knew that he was casing and was taking his measurements. They knew this. We now have, the recordings. Why didn't all security details have the same channel on comms? Why didn't a single officer approach the identified threat target? All of these things, and if you put them in the totality, this ain't normal, folks. This is not natural. And folks, this impacts our lives because we're living the results of this. And this is a highly chaotic time, very dangerous time, may I add. So the question now becomes, well, is it possible that this was an inside job? We know the actions of the former director of the Secret Service are bizarre at best. And the question is, could a single 20-year-old planned all that happened? Wasn't a bright kid, apparently. Was there another agenda being carried out by an inside group within? Appears that could be a very possible conclusion. Would they be so bold to be so careless? Unless there's more to this, and they know the anticipated outcome. Will they act again? What does this really mean? What is really going on, and to what end? Now, this is just one case. I could go into another completely, as I said, and we will, of all this. These are world events. This is events that happen to us here today, and particularly in the United States. And the rest of the world needs to be on edge. I think they are. And that's the problem. It seems, folks, from a different point of view, this whole globe, this whole earth, I mean, it may be in the same position in space, but it's not the same on this planet. Then gives the idea that then reality is somehow just a mere imprint upon the background. That would imply that what does make it you and I? Does our existence really matter? Are we playing a role in potentially altering this? I mean, no one that I know predicted this. I could be wrong. And if you know of someone who did, and if it was predicted, then that kind of tells me then who's writing the script? I have to read some of the comments afterwards. I love the chat room because to me, it's bothersome. It's bothersome in the aspect that there are principles of what we would call occultism, magic, if you want to call it that, that are in play here. Any initiate could see it. It's not hidden. And if this can happen, then who's initiating it? Is it a human presence? Is it an alien presence? Who would be that much power to manipulate our minds? Or is that really what it is? It's an illusion or a manipulation of our minds and our thoughts, because that really doesn't require much. I mean, is it a form of magic that is more pseudo-hypnotized? Are we being mesmerized? I saw that effect take place in Denver, Colorado, in that August night at Mile High Stadium with one Barack Obama. Saw it. Still got it on recording somewhere. That at a moment that there was this spell that was cast. I mean, and you saw it in the audience. It swept the audience. It was like the spirit of being mesmerized. It was like a spell being cast, all of them eating of the apple. So occultism has played a major role in politics. Okay, we know it played a major role in the religion. Now we can really see it in the politics. So is this those same characters, or is it? Are we talking it? Deborah, I think you asked the question. Hello, Lady Ailey. How are you? We should watch The Simpsons. They do seem to have that pretty well down, doesn't it? Or although that now it's more, they say that it's been debunked that they never made the prediction of Trump. But I look back and I say, yeah, they did. uh, and so they're trying to say because Lisa Simpson is president, that she is the correlation to Kamala Harris. Now, folks, you don't want stupid people in high-powered offices. You just don't. We know that that's not good for anybody. But look what's being done here. My big bitch in this whole scene, because you find out you have to vote. And I know some people don't feel like that, but you know, you pay taxes and you don't, if you don't vote, then you don't have a bitch if taxes go up, etc. But just my commentary on that. But when you see the fact that there seems to be an orchestration. Now, my big gripe is that where's the younger talent? It's out there. There are some tremendous thinkers out there. Vivek, and I can't remember his last name, brilliant mind. Um, that's where I see that there's potential hope, that these young awakened minds will rise to the challenge of leadership. We don't talk a lot here about leadership, but leadership is a unique qualification, a characteristic. I have a sense that in many cases, I look at all the names here of the people I know. Many of you are, in fact, leaders in one form or another. No doubt about it. I'm trying to read, keep your thought in there. You're looking at all the comments. You can't do that, Steiger. You're getting off the bus like that, man. So these events are unfolding. Now, my question is, because I haven't seen any movement in any of the particular channels that I happen to see or any evidence of anyone saying, listen, we're going to come together and we're going to counter a spell against these politicians. We're going to call upon the gods and bring them down, and we're going to bring in the spiritual entities that will begin to influence the counter energy to that which is being unleashed today. Well, see that shit happening. So are we just all playing, just putzing around? Well, we love to talk about it. Now, maybe you are on your individual level. Bravo if you are. I think that, we're all playing a role in that, because if you think about it, then that is the opportunity in which you can at least project the thought that would begin to counter it. But it's pretty difficult to do on a single basis when you're dealing something with an amplitude of millions. Does that make any sense to anybody? Robert Scott says, my bitch is we are allowing one choice. Yes, what happened There we go. I like that, Rob. That's my point. You know, what happened? And the thing with Harris, I'll just bring it out. That was the coup d'etat. That was a coup. If you want to know what a coup was, that's what happened. And this is what the Democrats did to you basically disenfranchised, 14 million voters. And this is normal. And then we see a deliberate effort to go back and start the scrubbing machine. That is trying to alter reality. And yet no one is held accountable for that. Oh, if you speak out about it, you're now, the algorithm is saying, oh, they're talking about it. They're talking about it. Yeah. I know enough of these demons. Now, I guess I should take a poll. JD, I know you listen to these shows, brother, and thank you. Love the emails and the comments, brother. So, JD, um, here's my question. Are demons Republicans or Democrats? Or is there a group of independents? And those of you who work with the angels, I listen to a lot of programs that makes me think that heaven, Jesus, and God are Republicans. At least that's how they're saying it. That scares the crap out of me. Because you know what? I fucking believed that at one fucking time. That God and Jesus was against the Democrats, that they were heathens, and that God was going to come and bring his fist down upon. Is that some fucked up thinking? Yeah. But that's how they do it. So are angels Republicans? Are there any Democrat angels up there? JD, are there any Marxist demons? Fascist demons? Fascist angels? Hey, come on, folks. I mean, if this shit is happening to us here in a daily life, you can't go anywhere from not having it affect you. So all these fucking leaders that to me are both jackoffs. I mean, where that's all we got. That's all we got. You don't tell me this. So you got these political machines that are dictating our reality. They're going to tell us whether the economy is going to be a bust or the economy is going to, become prosperous. So are they calling upon democratic demons? Is that who they use in their witchcraft? Do the Christians have the Republicans in their back pocket and that God and Jesus and his angels are all Republicans and only see the Republican agenda? Are there any rebellious angels? Are they saying, hell no, we're going to become independent? Just asking a simple question. Because if these demons, if these angels, if, John Dee was right in his writings that they can be conjured, can we not expand it from just our own fucking needs? Can we say, hey, listen, I'm going to conjure, let's say, Azel. Now, if you read the book, apparently Azel's in the pit, but all right. Maybe it's a Biden double. I don't know. Or the triple. It gets confusing. But can I come in and say, all right, Azel, I want you to bring your legions of demons and I want you to start hitting all these political opponents. Bring bad fortune, bring bad luck, bring back, anything. And we're going to basically curse them. I mean, cursing is completely legal. God curses. Didn't he say, be like me? So fuck you, that's basically how it worked. Oh, but I love you. Come here. Let me give you a big hug. And I love it. You see, you get people really onto this and, you begin to look at the absurdity of it. But what's going on? Or are these all people that are doing that they don't believe in the gods at all or a God? That they only believe that they are God? Because they have the power That's what happens when you elect these politicians. I've seen it in preachers. You get them elevated up there. Now I got the fucking power. You're going to kiss my ass. Yeah, I heard that with Kamala Harris. She expects her people to bow down. You can't look at her eye to eye. Yeah. Folks, we got wackos. I mean, any way you look at this. But yet I'm supposed to accept either or. But if I don't get involved, then what do? I get swept up into the actions. Well, if you see how it is. Nina says spirits are not political. Nina, we could have a discussion on that. We could probably bring JD. If you think about it, they are. In fact, they are political. They are the original political parties. Think about that. We merely copied from what they taught us. Now, I'm not saying that they are Republican or Democrat. I don't think they care what that is, but I'll guarantee you, I think that they have sides and parties. Look what they did to the whole freaking religion of Christianity. They completely Christianized every spirit. And when they Christianized that spirit, then that spirit either became a Republican or a Democrat. Now, you can go back in history in the last 2,000 years and had your political parties to either side, but that's what happened. And the church was always right. This is the church, and we endorse candidate so-and-so because we speak for God, and God has chosen us to be the mouthpiece. And so God is could you imagine if God was, a freaking socialist? Well, if you believe the religion, God is a socialist. Religions are. So I'm just throwing it out there, folks. I mean, give me for what it's worth. And that's why I wanted to know who did it and why. Because we're being manipulated. You've got human beings that are doing this deliberately. Don't tell me that there's different species of humans. I met some backstabbers. Yeah. Now I realize what spirit they really were. Maybe that's the real question. How many different spirits are in human bodies? Now, that is a point that may be brought out. Maybe this is just a vessel, and how many spirits can be in a human being? Now, my religious theology taught me that there can be legions of spirits, demonics, inhabiting a human body. The spirit is pushed to the side. Now, a legion can be between 8,000 soldiers. And so if you have 10 legions in you, holy crap. I don't know how you'd get a thought in edgewise. You got 100,000 demons inside of you? What the hell is that? But I'm telling you, it seems that that is what's happening. Are we seeing politicians that are being demon possessed, that are being possessed of an alien species, an alien nature? That these are not the humans speaking? Just asking a question. Shirley says, organized legions. Yeah. I have to get back. I haven't get to see some of these comments, but I'm just driving the bus. We're just talking here because it has to deal with this whole spirit world, right? In fact, I have something on here that I'll share with us as we continue to converse. I love the art of communication. It is fabulous. And particularly when you got beautiful people like y'all, I mean, it just makes it even more. So in this PDF, this is the Divine Secret Garden 2. And I thought it was interesting because allow me to move that up there. Okay. Isn't it interesting how you come across these because I got literally with no exaggeration about 10,000 plus books and documents, etc. But anyway, so I have to read this. It says this information is going to reveal a hidden secret that will lay out the groundwork to illustrate the overwhelming possibility that our world and cosmos was created and conquered by a race of fallen angels under the guise of what we may call alien gods a very long time ago. And from that time forward, Earth has been under the administration of fallen spirits wearing costumes such as reptilian, greys, and a whole host of demonic rulers, and yes, even the human costume. They are deceiving the entire world using a fallen system called the illusory holographic simulation matrix, while using the ancient writs such as the Christian Bible and many other religious and scholar writings to manipulate the world. Now, I can speak to this aspect on, the Bible. Someone wrote to me and said, the thing like you read it all the time. Listen, when you read something for almost 50 years, study it. I belong to a group where we used to read the Bible through the year, right? Um, I'm talking about an individual that would get up at 4 o'clock in the morning with his Strong's Concordance and his, you know, other books and 4 o'clock in the morning. And yeah, so I do know it. And it does have an influence on you. It can't help not to. It's powerful magic. But what if this system, that we're under right now, because, as many people said, we're moving out of Pisces into Aquarius, so this religion has dominated a period of our evolution. There were religions before it. No doubt there will be religions after it. So I often give thought, then how do we change gods? How do they already have this script ready for us? And then this is truly the epitome of ultimate manipulation. This is being captured. This is being held against our will. Um, Let me keep on this. It says these beings are war-minded, bloodthirsty, anarchist, and they call themselves Lord Gods. And they have children stationed on this planet that live amongst the children of the Father, us, Now, read and understand this parable that Jesus revealed. In it, we will reveal the secret of the ages. It is important to understand that the Bible, along with other ancient literature, was created as a mixture of truth and error, right and wrong, good and evil. There's the trap. Like the thing in Star Wars. It's trap. It's trap. Yeah. Run, Forrest, run. Um, anyway, and we'll get into this at another time, but I just wanted to bring that part out because we have another book that kind of tracks in that same area. This is the Matrix one. There are 10 books in this series. But I wanted to read this to you. The author writes, he says, this project is the distillation of over 15 years of research. Out of those 15 years, the last year was most significant. Most of the controversial data has appeared in the last year, although some of it may seem a bit far out. Much of it has been collaborated from so many sources that it is no longer a question of coincidence. See, that's why I was trying to bring about the whole Trump thing. The amount of coincidences that took place, as I said, we all should just go to Vegas and I'm going to buy the Powerball ticket and win tonight because that's how good the freaking odds are that this could just happen naturally. Well, that's a hell of a thing. Did you see how that happened, Nina? How the hell they get that done? So anyway, the author of this says, I'm convinced that the following basic items are true. One, the government has and is interacting with alien cultures. Gaia, I'd agree with that. Gaia knows. Two, the government has captured alien technology and has interacted with them to ensure a similar development of our technology along the same lines. What if we are being terraformed out, and instead of a mass extinction, what they're going to do is we're basically going to be transmuted. We will become hybrids of eventually of another dominant species. Three, the government maintains underground facilities, some of which are jointly occupied by alien entities. Four, different alien species are interacting with human beings. Some of the alien species maintain underground facilities. Humans are being manipulated in these facilities. I dare say we're being manipulated on top of the facilities as well. Manipulation of the human species extends to the very deep levels. Levels of alien manipulation affect human evolution, genetics, and planetary power structures. I mean, I want to know, when are these assholes going to come back from and show themselves? You know why they won't? Because there's enough people like me and like you will kick your ass. We'll, as I said, no God's going to return to this planet. Half the people would worship, the other half of them would try to kill it. No God coming back here. No way. It's too dangerous. Maybe that's why it allowed the aliens. Various entities that have a non-terrestrial origin walk freely among us. Totally believe that. Various entities, animal and human mutilations are being performed. I believe that. Abduction of human beings occur on a regular basis. I believe that. Alien interaction with the human community will soon have increased impact on our society. Now, this was written decades ago. My question is, have we reached that point? Have we reached that zenith? Because if this has been in the act and in the process for who knows how long, eventually you start having some results, good or elsewise. A minimum of 70 species are interacting with our planet. 4 or 5 alien species are doing the most interaction. So let me tell you, when I see these alien species, I could say that right now there are 4 or 5 different angel beings of different categories that are doing most of the interaction with humans. Or I could take the Satanist position. Well, there is no Satan, but I could say, and there are 4 or 5 demons, high-ranking demons, that are doing most of the interaction with humans. It's all the same thing, isn't it? I mean, really? Are you telling me that a freaking demon doesn't realize that there's other alien species out in the cosmos? Are you saying that it's just so simple-minded, or what, is it stuck here that this is the only place in all of the billions, potential billions of other planets, other realities? Nah, not buying it. Just not. Anyway, I can see my time is running out, but we're going to get into that probably tomorrow, because these are fascinating books. Anyway, how is that? There used to be that show on PBS from the BBC called Connections. It was an hour of a fascinating journey where the guy would start out on one subject and, I mean, takes you all around the block, and you're saying, where are we going? And then with the last one, he brings it all back, and you realize what an adventure it was. Well, I hope that's what you found this hour to be, an adventure. You know, Nothing's too controversial. Politics, religion, sex, rock and roll, aliens, demons, angels, God, whatever. Uh, Mary wins. How you doing, darling? How's life treating you, sweetie? Um, anyway, watch Nina's show tonight over on her channel. Is that on Patreon, Nina? I think you're going to go on that now. Norma girl, uh, just the beast under your bed in the closet in your head. I like that. That's cool. There we go. I tell you, y'all smart. Y'all are brilliantly creative. And it's an honor just to be with you all. I tell you, and thank you. You come here and you have plenty of other choices. And so I don't want it to escape you how deeply appreciative I am. I mean, it's you keep the things young. You keep them, hopping. Uh Jackie says, yeah, always an adventure. Thank you, darling. Appreciate you. Much love to you too, sweetie. Hey, Jackie, what's up? Susie Q, good to see you. Red Honey, hello. Lauren, I think I saw you. And Lady Ellie, how are you? So, all right, all you beautiful people. I mean, and guys, you have to admit, the ladies here are just freaking phenomenal. I get the privilege of being with two of the many, but Trina and I have been going for years. Love you, darling. By the way, her daughter has one badass Harley. Gilbert, I wanted to mention that. And we're graced by Jenny with, I just love the alchemy of the knowledge. And so, and every one of you ladies, I'd love to have all of you on, you know, just make me feel even more special. So anyway, love, joy, wellness. Good to see you. Well, thank you. Appreciate it. Right back at you. Um, all right, everyone. Have yourselves a fabulous day. And if it's hot, well, guess what? 6 months it'll be cold. So just a process. All right. Much love, everyone. Thank you, Rick, and thank you, Lost in Space. Chloe, much love to you. Yeah, it went by quick, didn't it? I look at it sometimes and I'm going, that can't be right. What happened to the 40 minutes that, yeah, it's like, okay. Thank you, Robert Scott. Thank you, brother. I stand beside this open door. That's an honor, my friend. Thank you much. All right. So much love, everyone. We'll see y'all tomorrow as we continue to pick up. We got thousands of books to cover, so it's never going to get boring. That's for damn sure. Paul Joe, much at you. So everyone, until we meet again. How about was that yesterday when I hit the button, thought that we had gone off the air and we didn't? Yeah, behind the scene green room scene. Yeah, that's a special little bonus, huh? I love it. All right, because we're authentic here. I mean, it's what you see is what you get, and it's like we love it. All right, until we meet again,